the time to get to you, and no one delivers any of the feelings that you do. I've saved my life, waiting for the dreams to all come true. Then I saw that you are everything I need to get me through. 'Cause we are connected in unity. We'll get far as long as it's you and me. It is how we feel.
And hello. Everyone, just bear with me a minute. We are going to quickly load everything up because obviously I need to grab something. Make source visible. Yep. Cool. Yep. In theory, we should. Do not want to load that up. Will that change the size on screen? Yes, it will. So what we're going to do. We're going to quickly just move it about a little bit so we can get as much of this on view. There we go. So today we are going to be building new lists. I do have the book in front of me. So this is primarily going to be for the fact that this year I will be going sort of very heavy into this. Excuse me. So obviously I have already a Brazilian tournament list that is one that I'm going to use for the minute until I get the army I want to get. So we're just going to go through and basically just build lists. So we are going to start with Reforge. We are going to create a new list. There we go. So what we want is Reforge Orcs, no fraction. Going to do the official tournament points. It's 2,300. We'll go create list. There we go. So I think that's going to be a bit better if we turn the music down. So I do apologise if people couldn't properly hear me. That's not my intention. It was just the way it was. So obviously, when we look at lists, especially with King's War, you've got to follow like somewhat of a strict regime / rule for it all. So I do have the book in front of me, people. So you will see me go quiet every now and then. So we are gonna obviously when we will be building these armies as well up, and we will be play testing them, all of them as well. So we will, when we build them, we'll be doing PMC. So that's preferred model count. I already have the page ready for that one. So what we want to do is we want to go to points and get this all sorted. So the turn, we don't want anything to do with that. Terrain, we're not interested in a minute. I'm not having any games. So these lists, when we build them, will be essentially they will be played in tabletop sim at the minute. So the way we're going to be doing it is I obviously had the book in front of me. So theme lists, we don't have to worry about theme lists. Okay, so because we're doing 2,400 points, we get a max duplicate of 3. So that's not too bad. So we get up to 3 of each. So first of all, we need to think of a character. So what we are actually going to do as well, we are going to load up the magic game site for each time of the armies we go through. So we're going to go to Kingdoms of War. Our first army is Reforged. We're going to go down the list like this. So first things first, we need to think of a character to use to start us off. So what I'm thinking is we first of all start off with, let's say, this set. So this is the 2-player starter set, so we will start off with this. So we have a Stormbringer on Manticore for our first hero. So this will be a Hellstrike Manticore. So the 160 points base, but we can give them artifacts. But I don't want to do that in a minute. I just want to give them we'll call it Leroy for the minute for our leader. So Leroy the Stormbringer. We'll add him in because we do need a... Okay, so we actually need more the base units to start off with. So 40 Reforged Orcs. Okay. So we have 40 standard Orcs. So now we have to think of what we're going to make. So what we need to think of is how we're going to do them. So I'm possibly thinking we run it. Let's get all the stats up. We'll think of some decent stats here. So, okay, so these are a no because assaults. They're not great. These will be a no as well, depending on what their stats. 9 is. Okay, no, they're kind of pointless. So it tends to be. It looks like we're probably going to end up going Morax because of the Crushing Strength 1 and Wild Charge D3. So we're going to throw 3 regiments of them. Right, let's get rid of that because we don't need that in a minute. Cancel. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to put in our Hellstriker. Okay, so there we have our start of the army, and that's already 510 points for just these guys. So now we want to think of some other units. So what we'll probably end up doing is then taking this box. So there's both Reforged and Reborn engineers. So we have this one now. So we first of all get some more dudes. So I'm thinking we take a Horde. I'm thinking a Horde might be a good shout here. Yeah, we'll take a Horde. Horde of Reforged Legionnaires. Because I don't know, because these guys are better. We'll take those ones because the Reborn Legionnaires are better. But again, you get Inspiring, so they get Crushing Strength 2, they get Crushing Strength 1. Okay, so it will be better actually taking those guys. So that gives us 2 regiments there. Now we need the Stormcaller. So what I'm actually doing at the minute is I'm not currently putting any artifacts or any extra abilities on them at the minute because I don't want that to happen at the minute. I want to make sure that we get something decent. So Funduses. These are monstrous infantry. So let's throw 2 hordes in. Okay, we're at 1400. So this is a standard list. So we're already up to 1500 points. So we still have some points left. I want to hit 2k, and then what we will do will be essentially from there. It will be we just start doing our artifacts and stuff. So I'm thinking possibly Hellstrikers or maybe one of the other dudes. So Hellstrikers are 265. And then we have a Storm Slayer. That I think is Storm Giant. Storm Cooler. Where's the Storm Slayer? Oh, there is some class and stuff. Okay. So, I think it's actually going to be better us taking 2 units. Okay, there we go. So 2 hordes of that. Done. So, now we want to do is we want to now start doing our skills, artifacts, magic, all that sort of stuff. So, what we are going to do is go to our Stormcaller. We are now going to look at this. So, he already has Lightning Bolt, and I can't remember what Lightning Bolt actually does in this. Where's Lightning Bolt? So I'm trying to find Lightning Bolt in the book. When I hover over it, will it tell me what it does? So it has Lightning Bolt, but I can't see what it says. Just can't find it. Wind Blast. Ah, Lightning Bolt. Okay. 24 hits on a 5+ against units in cover. Pearson 1. Roll to damage an enemy as if it was normal. So what I want to do is I want to give him +1 spellcaster tier. Celestial. That's a 3. Right. So we have here Icy Breath. Icy Breath, 10-inch range, roll to damage enemy unit. It's not if 1 or more points of damage that target enemy is given a frozen special roll, hits on 5+. Okay, that's going to be quite well for Icy Breath. Blizzard doesn't seem to be in the book, so I think that's a new spell they've actually added. Because I can't see it in my book. So I don't have the up-to-date book at the minute, but yeah. Okay, so Bane Charm. So Bane Charm affects friendly units. If 1 or more or hits a score for the rest of the turn, unit gets crush star +1. The effect applied once, multiple counters on the same target does not have its effect. So if 1 or more hits are scored that for the rest of that turn. Okay. So that makes no use. So upgrade to a mount. We don't want to put a mount on it yet. So I'm thinking we take off Icy Breath 8 and we get the 3 upgrade that replaces the Lightning Bolt with Icy Breath. Just straight out the back. Incarnation of the Tempest might be a good one. Veil Shadows. Just see it's fun gains or a stealthy special until the start. Okay, so we are going to give him Veil Shadows. But what I'm probably going to do is spend the extra points. And then give him the Library of Veil Shadows. And that's a 45-point upgrade to this model. That's not great. Here we go. We've got all the rules here. So Blizzard. It's the commentator attack rolls for its damage, modifies indirect piercing. Okay. Simply do indirect for each hit score roll. Okay, so we're gonna put Host of Shadow Beast for a dead cert on this. We will give him the knowledge. And I think that's how we will leave him. Right, artifacts now. So when it comes to artifacts, everyone takes the same ones. It all just depends on what you want to do with them. So he's primarily a spellcaster. So I want to make sure he gets some decent sort of things. I want to keep him round. He's not going to be sort of like out there that much. So wavering stat value won't mean jack shit. Fury, Headstrong, Inspiring, Speed Stat, Pathfinder, Melee, Question Strength, Diamond, Dragonkin. So we will probably give him the Fireball special ability, so he can take a Fireball. So it gives him Fireball 8, so it'll be 8 dice, if my memory serves me correctly. So that'll be 8 dice. Yeah, so we will give him that possibly, but I think I'm happy with how he is actually there. So we'll update that. So what we're going to do is we're going to Stormbringer on Manticore. So he already gets Brutal, Crusher Strength 2, Fly Inspiration, Lifelink, Nimble. So now we've got to think of some artifacts. I'm thinking we really buff him up a bit. Image uses defense to maximum 6 players. So I could make him a defense 6. So you physically have to roll 6s to even do shit to me. So that's about... Oh, we could have him hitting on 2s. So we can have him hitting on 2s. And unless you roll a 6, you can't damage him. He already has Nimble, doesn't he? No, yeah, he does have Nimble. So Nimble only goes out once. So does he have any auras? No, he doesn't. So I'm actually generally thinking, give him the increase his defense. So I'm either going to give him defense, or I'm going... Yeah, this costs me like £2, $2 a month to do. So I don't mind doing it. Just trying to build this list. I'm not worth it. So we've got a few. We can give him Crusher Strength 3, so he'll get +3 to hit in combat. So technically he auto hits, technically, but ones always fail. Or we can make it so you have to break a defense of 6, that unless you're rolling 6s, you ain't doing shit to him. So we've got a few options we can go with this. So I could give him Lifelink 2, but I can't remember what that rule does. When the unit completes a hit roll into natural hit, it regains 1 point up for the previous suffered from each point damage caused smash, up to maximum lifelink, to a maximum of 3. So if I give him Lifelink 2, he technically, for each point of damage I do, I gain 2 life back. That's kind of good, because he has a 13 nerve, 15 nerve. So 15 waiver, 13 base, 14 would mean he's pinned, I believe it is. No, 15. So 13 is when they wait. They're sort of like on the edge. No, 13's pin, 15's waiver. Anything higher than 15, they're off the table. So I want him to be like a real big hitter. So I'm actually generally really thinking of giving him that. But then I don't know what. So I give him. So here's the thing. I could regain 2 wounds for each point of damage, 2 nerve for every point of damage that's done. Or I can give him defense 6. That means you aren't breaking him that easy. He gets +2 to a maximum of 6. So it would be a 7, but it would be a 6 because of the ruling of it. But if you were to hit him with Crushing Strength 1, you would break it to a 5 because of the leftover one would go to a 6. So you're still hitting on 6. You're still breaking a defense on a 6. But 5's quite good anyway. I could give him +3 Crushing Strength. I could also make him +1 to hit, so he can hit on 2s. I'm pretty sure you're only allowed to take 1 artifact per unit. I'm pretty sure you can. But we'll see what happens, because I do want to give him the... I do want to give him the +1, but I also want to give him the Vicious modifier. So Crushing Strength. So we'll go Brewer Strength. It's quite an expensive point one though, to be fair. Very expensive. Brew of Haste, so we're looking at 30 to 40 points. Brew of Strength. Okay. So at 225, okay, so he has Brew of Strength. Right, so I don't really want to do anything with these guys, the Morax, because they're not really that great. They're just there to be whatever. So we're going to look at the Thunderseers. So Thunderseers, I will give one of the units a Descrying gem, and that's 25 points. Gotta find it. So basically what that allows me to do is, so when both players start deploying, when they're starting to deploy their units, your opponent must deploy D3+1 instead of a single one. So what that allows me to do is for each one, so I drop a unit, they then have to roll a D6, D3. So D6, round down. So say, for example, they roll a 5, they have to deploy 4 of their units because it's D3+1. I still only place 1, so I can then counter everything of theirs. So I can give them redeployment as well. This unit. That I think would be a really good thing. I'm gonna put it in there so they get a redeployment. I will do that for these guys as well. You can only take one of the same artifacts, so that's not too bad. What I'm going to do with these guys, though, they have Crushing Strength 1. I want to give them a Life Leech. Or do we go Brew of Sharpness? We'll go Brew of Sharpness because I want them to have that extra like modifier. So I think the 35 to 45 points for this unit is going to be worth it. Update. Okay, 215. Okay. Hellstrikers. First things first. They I think they already have Strider. No, they don't. Okay, so they do get Life Leech, Functional Charge, stuff like this. It's fine. Fury. I don't know what Fury does. So what's that special rule? So 15. Chalice of Wraith. Let's update that. I'm gonna quickly see what it is. Doesn't tell me. Fuck. I need to know what that special rule is. So what was the rule? Fury. So I need to look at the Fury rule. It should be in here somewhere. Here we go. Spells. I just need to know what Fury is. What that does. Yeah, this is like extremely clean the way they've done this. And I only rushed away. Special rules. Here we go. Fury. When we declare. Okay, no, so that's no good. That's no good for what we want. So, what I might do is give him the Brew of Strength. Because I don't think I've done that with any. I don't know. I gave him, so he's hitting on 2s. This guy here. So we're going to change this. So I'm just putting artifacts on these guys now to make a list. So the Hellstrikers are what I'm working on currently now. The part for these dudes. So like Manticore, like Orc things. And there's 2 regiments, so that's 10 of those. 2 hordes, that's 10 of those I've got in my army. It already has, Resolve rule, no. Cool. So. I might give them hammers and measured force, so it means they always hit on a... they're always doing damage on a 4+ regardless of like people's abilities or defense. And that is a 20-point upgrade. No, hammer of measured force. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Right, so what? Oh, I didn't see how much points I've got left to spend. So we've still got quite a bit of points left to actually spend. So there are 5+. We don't really need to work on anything. What's their speed? 10. So these guys are actually going to be running up with the leader. So I kind of need these guys to stay around as much as possible. So what we'll probably do, that one's been done, that one's been done, that one's been done, that one's been done. Yeah, but this is actually a tournament list I'm doing for Reforge at the minute. Tournament list. This is a prototype. So they already got Brutal, Wild Charge +1. They don't own that, they own Thunderous Charge. Or would we give them Life Leech? Right, let me look at what Wild Charge is, because I could make this really, really, really mean. Like, really mean. Okay, Thunderous Charge. Melee hits fitted with by this unit +1 and modifier. When rolled into damage, the bonus addition is unit's crushing strength of any. So technically, this unit on a charge has +2 to all damage rolls. So I'm getting anything with a 6 defense. It's the highest defense you can get. I'm doing damage on 4s. So there is that. Wild Charge gives them extra. Okay, so if I put a Wild Charge on them, they get brute. So they can make a. Because you double the charge is just your movement, I believe. If I can remember, I'm pretty sure the charge you just like double your move. Okay, yeah, so they move. Yeah. So first charge, the unit's done. Yep, between. So I'm just trying to remember how to do the charges. Because I have to constantly remember all this sort of stuff. So I can kill it. Right. Charges. I just need to know, is it just your move? General is going to 24. Right, roll to hit. Here we go, melee phase. Combat nurse, one. Trying to work out the charge roll again. Hedor. Pretty sure you just double the move. Or the charge is your move. Oh no. Page 15, okay. Distance between 10, 11, here we go. Measure distance, yeah. Cool. Okay, so I think the charge is just a move roll. So technically they would get an 11-inch charge straight with the modifier. So they would have an 11-inch charge. They're damaging you on 4s if you're a defense 6. Otherwise, you're hitting pretty damn hard. But I could give them Crushing Strength +1. That I'm tempted to do. So they actually get +3 to damage rolls. Yeah, I think we might have to do that. So we'll give him the additional effect to get an additional plus in Crushing Strength. So that's, I think that's Brewer's Sharpness now. I want to give him extra Crushing Strength. So where is that artifact? I don't need to give him Brewer Haste because they only need 10-inch move. Yes. I swear there was a way I can increase the Crushing Strength. Bro strength, 30 to 40 points. Did I give that to anyone? Yeah, I gave it to him. So what I'm going to do is I will give this one Bro sharpness. So it then becomes... That artifact is already taken. Who's taken Bro sharpness? Oh, these guys. Understood. So am I giving them a Furious Charge so they get bonuses so they can do... Hammer Measured Force has already been done. The unit gets Iron Resolve, it already has Iron to increase the amount of damage regained each time from the items and use by 2. Right. You know what? I'm going to give them War Bowl of Kaba so they get a shooting attack as well. Just for the shits and giggles, because why not? How much is the... So it's a 5-point upgrade. So they now get a shooting attack. So this unit hits like a freight train. Let's be real. So it's... on charges, it gets... So Crushing Strength, I believe, is the one for damage. Gives you +1 to damage. I believe that's the case. Memory serves me right. So Crushing Strength, yes, a +1 to melee. Oh, I get +2 to damage in combat. So it's essentially you need. So with King's War, you don't round down. You have to, whatever you roll, you add your modifiers after the roll. So instead of Games Workshop 40k and Age of Sigmar and other systems I've played, you have to add it on before. This one you don't, you add on after. So basically in a nutshell, I go into combat, I'm hitting on 3s. Say I hit a unit of a defense value of, we'll say 5. We'll take the stat line. Basically any dice at a 3. So any damage roll, so any of the successful hits. So there's 18 attacks. So what we'll do, we'll actually do a dice randomizer. Dice roller. Let's just do this. Dice roller online. RPG dice roller. Dice roller. Okay. So we want 18. So we're 18. So 18 dice. So we're hitting on 3s. So we want to take out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 that go through. We're hitting defense 5. So that's 10 that go through. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage straight off the back. Plus the 2 from Crushing Strength from Thunderous Charge. That becomes a 5. So that is actually 7 damage down 1 hit. They would then have to roll 2d6 for waiver. Plus damage. That's a 7. Plus a 7 is 14. That would almost be enough to break that unit. That would almost break that unit into pinning or waiver. Probably waiver, I think that would be. If that had gone to an 18, we'll say that whole unit's wiped. Even if it's a 60-man block, it's gone. Sort of thing. So that's not too bad. Like on 18. So on that 18 dice, hit on 3s. That's not bad. Like each time looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so you're looking at average of a 10. So we'll say with the Crushing Strength Thunderous Charge, you're averaging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're averaging between 5 to 8. So we'll take the 8. We'll do it on their value of 17. So yeah. So they can, as long as you roll high on this part of nerve, you could remove a block of a regiment or a troop every turn. In one combat, just remove them. That is just from one unit. This is just from one unit here, without any of the special abilities I put in. So for example, they've got the Warbow of Kali. So that generates a so I'm pretty sure that's just one attack with that. So it's like, one attack, hit on 4s, fails, but it does get pierce and steady aim, so I might have to change that and give it something else. I'm thinking for this, we might give it a brutal special rule. Ensnare. If we got anything that gives me Ensnare, no, we don't. So what I'm thinking is we give me extra life lynch for 10 points. Where are you? Skirmishing boots, pipes of terror. No, it's the sculptor. So we'll take. Okay, we'll update this, and I've got an idea. We'll actually work this out right now. So we're looking at 18 dice on the charge. So 18 dice hitting on 3s. We are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12. So that's actually above average. Probably. So 12 of these will be hitting on 3s because they get +2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hang on, is that 9? 4, 5, yeah, 9. So that's 9 damage gone through. That's broke them, so they take 9 wounds, but because they have life leech 2, they actually go up by, they can remove 18 wounds, that one unit. So theoretically, if they don't run and they charge into a unit that's very heavy, with heavy wounds, they could theoretically take out a unit, regain every wound lost, so they therefore wouldn't fail any nerve. That means then they wouldn't waver, a pin, or completely go. So you're looking at quite a decent unit for... How many points is that? That's 275 points, and you've got a unit that can 1. Remove a unit a turn in combat. 2. Can heal 2 points of damage per 1 point of damage it does. So that's that one. The other one, so the other one's got measured force. So the measured force will do the same sort of thing. Same stat line. So we want 18 dice. It's 19. So 18 dice hitting on 3s. So we're looking at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12 dice there again. So we're hitting quite good averages. You're wounding this time on 3s again. So that's an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage. But regardless of modifiers, so even if they put me at a negative, say for example, there was a couple of 4s in here, but they missed. Because they have the hammer and measure forward, they always damage enemies on 4+. So regardless of modifiers, all 4s are an automatic as well. So all 4s are an automatic. So that is an automatic without the modifier. So technically these would also hit because they're +2. So that also becomes 4s. That mean they auto hit. So you would take 6, 7, 8 damage from that. They regain. So they would dish out 8 damage, gain 8 life back. They also have brutal that will then also boost it even more. So I have to roll a brutal roll, by the looks of things here for that. If I have a higher brutal roll, then... So basically brutal. When testing the nerve of an enemy unit in melee with one or more of your units with this rule, at the highest brutal N. So N would be number, unit, da-da-da-da. If unit is subject to both brutal and dread special rules, the attack player must choose which one. It cannot apply both at the same time. That's completely fine. So technically, they actually are... If you play that unit right with the way I've built them, they can heal. On average, we'll say, on average, they're healing with the way I've built them. So the Measured Force guys are an average of 7 healing. They regain 7 points of damage per turn. They're removing a unit. Plus, at the same time, the other unit is doing something very similar, but they're healing 16, removing a unit, and buggering off constant. Plus, they all have the fly special rule. So the fly rule, basically, yeah. So they get no minuses from moving to terrain. So they ignore terrain, this unit. So let me load it up here. I think it's house share. So they get +2 on a charge for combat. So they get +2 to damage. They regain 1 wound per every point of damage you do. They ignore terrain. You have to roll a brutal check. So they have to... Yeah, you're basically removing a unit every turn with this unit. And just being an ass. Yeah, so basically, they ignore terrain and fucking everything. The way I've built these two units of Hellstrikers, they are quite deadly. If you get into combat with them. They're going to hit you like a freight train. So we got... so I need to make a mark of ones I've already taken down. So I need to grab my phone so I can mark the spells I've taken so I know. Now I'll do this for each list. Precious, you never again. The school at artifacts. So we've got here Measured Force, Sanguinian, Sanguinary Scripture. The next artifact we have Scrying Gem. This actually could work as a list. If I can find someone to give me a game of TTS, I will probably test this out. He didn't get any artifacts, no. So you got Brewer's Strength. So the Stormcaller didn't get any artifacts. I don't think I gave him one. I didn't because I didn't know about the magical sort of stuff. So we've got some magical stuff. Whenever I hit rolls, nope. So I'm thinking, so this is basically the mage of the group. So we can give him other things. So he will become defense 4. That's not going to be good. Huh, you know what? We will actually give him the Shroud of Saint. That's 30 points. It should be around here somewhere. It's not here. So it's 30 points, it's not here. So yeah, he would get... Yeah, it should be here. There it is. Oh, it's got cheaper. It's 25 points this time. Okay, so this is hilarious now. So he has the Shroud of Saint, so he can heal. So he can now heal people. Okay. So he now heals people. So he gets healing 3. Heal 3, yeah. So he gets 3 dice to attempt to heal. I believe that's how that spell works. Now you get into the mindset of how I make my lists. So heal friendly for each turn and when it... Okay, so he gets heal 3. So he can heal and remove 3 points of damage. The Stormcaller can per unit they previously suffered. So if you team that up, can I put him on a mount? for extra points. So I might run him up with that unit and just be an ass. Yeah, I can upgrade him to a mount for 25 points. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. So he's now mounted. Okay, that's kind of dirty because you run these two together. You run them up with the Hellstrikers. You use these these 4 blocks here to get objectives. You use these guys to screen with redeployments, force them to do other things. So you've got... Okay. So you've basically got a hero that's basically charging out. So he's a level 3 spellcaster. So that's quite nice. I don't think I really want to really do anything else with any of the other guys. Everyone has a decent sort of move. Wild charge, produce I don't know, charge rate, add some SP, double, usually a stat of 4, I know what I do. Can charge up to... Oh, you do double the charge. Okay, so here's how busted this actually is. I've just realised. Technically, my Hellstriker unit has a 20-inch charge because you double the move. They have a 20-inch charge. They're theoretically getting a turn 1 charge. So they'll whack into you with obviously Crushing Strength, Thunderous Charge, Fly, Brutal with... So they get +2 damage modifier, they're hitting on 3s, plus healing, and they ignore all terrain. And then you then have to deal with these guys that will run in with them. So you've got constant healing going on. So they basically, the Stormcaller, the Stormbringer, and the Hellstrikers run around clearing up units, whilst you put your Morax, possibly Legionnaires, depending on which ones you want to take. That'll probably turn into Morax, because I think the Morax are actually bad. They get Crusher Strength, Wild D3. What do these guys get? They get Inspiring, but Crusher Strength 2. So, I think we might actually just throw 2 more units of Legionnaires in. And these are Reborn Legionnaires. They're a bit tougher, I think. Yeah, they are a bit tougher to hit. So we will actually include 2 more regiments. So we will remove that, add another one in. And if I remove that, you can then add another one in. Okay, there we go. So we've got 4 units. So even if you hit them, charges them onto a block, that's 12 attacks, hit on 3s, +2. So you're hitting things on... So you're doing 3s followed by 3s, so it's 12 dice. Cool. So you miss 3 of them. That takes you down to a 9. Yeah, on par, you're doing about 6 damage. On par. With that one unit, it's just going to sit on a... Just sit on a, basically, objective. And just sit there. Because they do get Inspiring as well. So if you or friendly call within 6 types of reroll test, the opponent must reroll that now test. Second result stands no matter. Uses quite Inspiring. Yeah, so you use these as a bit of a block. So you make sure that when you deliberately get people to charge with this because they can't re-roll their route tests. Basically, they have to re-roll it. Say first time they pass. Say they pass, they don't even route, they don't waver, they don't get pinned. I would force you to re-roll that. So if you end up rolling, for an example, so it's 2d6. We'll take the 6 damage into account. So we'll go to... We'll take 6 damage into account. So that would be 12. That would be 14. So you technically would pass. But because of how Inspiring works, I would force you to re-roll that. And you would still pass. But that's how I'd be forcing you to re-roll. So I'm making your units flee constantly. So when you got a choice of being hit like a freight train by 2 hordes of Hellstrikers with a Stormcaller Stormbringer that constantly heals, +2s to hit constantly on charges, regenerate, they get life leech, so they get to heal even more. Plus you then have Icy Breath 8, that if I do any point of damage on you, you get a Frozen special rule. So I think you're -1 in 1 speed for Frozen. Yes. Okay, yeah. So basically, if I'm hitting you, I can reduce you to a 4-inch move. So I hit you with these, get you to a 4-inch move. I then double charge. I charge unit Hell Strikers in. I would probably end up doing the double one. No, it wouldn't really matter actually. So you basically just charge everything in. Obviously, he gets an 8 move. He's height 3. He is Shadow Beast. So he does get Library to host as Shadow Beast. So this is number 3. So this is level 3, technically, of this spell. So for for any individual with a CC, now for each unit hit, that target unit gains +1 attack. That target units for each. Oh! Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. So this will affect your the whole turn. So this would affect until your next turn. This will be in play. Because that's one whole turn done. Yeah, for the rest of the turn. So you would technically cast that. Oh, that's horrible. I just realized that. So we'll actually do... Right, I'm going to try. I want to look at something. Okay, so you get Celestial Resuscitation. Resources. Oh, damn. He's healing a lot of people. Possibly. So, we'll take the 18 dice. I'm quite interested to see how this is going to now play out. Don't want 100 dice. Don't want 45. 18, yeah, that would do. So, we're hitting on 3s. Because of our melee. But because I'll have the spell on, each hit generates an additional hit. So you end up actually, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you actually got by 2 die. On the charge, you're hitting on 3s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 17 damage. That unit, I will use the one with, so they'll either heal, depending on which one you put it on, either 17 wounds or 34 wounds. So they're already at a 17 on damage. You would roll for your nerve. So that would be a 7. Average, most things around that sort of size. Let's go for a regiment. Most people run regiments. Yeah, so the damage alone will put you at the end of your nerve, so you would break, but because you've exceeded it, you actually remove a 20-man block. So yeah, this unit here, I've made it so they regenerate. If I play it right, like for every successful hit, they get +1 attack with each successful, so they get to do it again. So they basically get additional hits that I believe auto hits. We'll double check. I'll see if they auto hit, or does it just generate an additional hit? Oh, +1 attacks when attacking for melee. Oh, okay. So they're actually hitting on 2s. So that's 18. So that unit is 18 attacks, hitting on 2s. So yeah, that's like 17. Wounding you on 3s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's still going to be enough to do some serious damage. Because even on... You're still... Yeah, no matter what you wave, you're making people wave, reroute, regardless, with that one unit, with that ability on. Plus they have Brewer's Strength. That... I need to double check what Brewer's Strength does. Oh, it gives you plus... So they get +2. No, that's Thunder's. It's the wrong bloody unit. Yeah. That's horrible. Because plus all the 4s automatically hit because they have the Hammer of Measured Force. So 4 pluses always hit, regardless of modifiers. So technically, even if you roll 2s now with this unit, they still technically hit. Because you get +2 to your damage roll. So that become a 4, that then the Artifact of Measured Force would kick in. So you're always hitting. So even if you roll... Basically, as long as you roll 2s, 2s or more, you're laughing. You're always hitting someone and dealing damage. And with 18 attacks for free, US. I gotta see what that stat means, because I'm not quite sure. Damn, this is quite horrible. And I've still got points to play with as well, people. I've got 75 points. 85 points to play with. And I haven't even fully upgraded everything yet. So we'll have a look at these guys. So what I will do though, there is an artifact that increases all auras. And I can give a lot of these guys like a bunch of other stats and like special rules. They already have the Inspire and special rules, so there's no point. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna make this. So we're gonna give this unit here. They're gonna take the Sacred Horn. So they have a 9-inch aura of I force you to basically reroll your entire stuff. I just force you to reroll within 9 inches. So, and now what we're going to do, so this is what's going to get funny. Because you can put, I don't think magical artifacts can go on basic units. I need to double check. So if they can, then that's going to be hilarious. Okay. No, it just says ally units may not take magical artifacts. So this is hilarious. So I can put these guys with magic as well. So I can make them actually just run around. So I technically would own 4 spellcasters. Oh, that's horrible. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do some really horrible things. We're gonna actually make a really nasty sort of like thing. +1 Raven. No, I'm not gonna do that. Did I do the Dragonkin? No. So this unit here is going to take the Dragonkin. So these guys actually get Firebolt. Not Firebolt. Fireball 8. So they get 8 dice to wound you on. So they're now a magical unit that sits on a unit and goes, oh, I'm now going to swing at you. At what range? At 12 inches? Yeah, so always hits on a 5+ against cover or stealthy, but standard that it always hits on a 3. That's the funniest thing. So I'm hitting on 3 with 8 dice, I auto-damage you. And then I basically try and break your defense. That's horrible. This is hilarious that I'm turning my basic units into fucking bloody mages and stuff like that. So we've got 40 points remaining. So what I'm thinking is we remove the sharpness because I'm not. I don't think we're gonna need that on here. Bear with me a minute, people. I've got a phone call, so I'm just gonna mute very quickly. sorry about that, people. Partner just needed to check some stuff with me. Yes, so technically, I can actually do this in the way I want to do it, but I need to remove these 2 units here. And then I have to basically add them in separately. So these were Reborn Legionnaires. Okay, so I can't add any notes to them. Looks like it. Okay, no, I can't. So we need to think. I think I'll probably leave them. What does fire oil do? That doesn't really actually do much. Here we go. Give it the Crystal Pinnacle Redemption Retribution, because so when that unit starts to attack, if all units are in base contact when with it suffers D6 2d6 hits at piercing 3, or only hits about a player around an enemy. Okay, cool. So that might not be any good for what we need. So I'm probably just going to leave it there and work with this. But I could do Ages of the Idaho, because that will increase it a little bit. And that's a 15 point. So they get... Oh, they get okay, they get Iron... So these guys get Iron Resolve. So we'll give them that. That leaves me 70 points. Can we get a character or anything else in? For 70 points. What can we get for 70 points? Can we just get a standard Reforge person? Or we could get a Reforger. Okay, right. What I want to do... Let's come off this bit. Come off this bit. That shrine's such a nice model. So what's this guy in here? So kind of Reforge. Okay, we get a Reforge. Just look at his stats. And we might... Orklings. We could put some Orklings in. Ambox. No, they're too expensive. Flagger. Okay. Do we put another Stormbringer in there? No, they're too expensive. So here we go, we have this guy. So we have, I think, 70 points to play with, I said? Yeah, 70 points. So... Oh. Would he get a load of extra stuff? He'd get so much stuff. We could give him a 20 point thing. I'll just turn with Darkness too. Gain Surge. Oh, that could be dangerous. Gain Storm Strike. He's just going to be Crusher Strength 2, Arcane Smithing. I got rid of Sharpness, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So I put the Sharpness one on here. How much was Burrow Sharpness? It was like pretty cheap. As long as it's less than 20 points. Strength. No, it's quite expensive. Orb of the Terran Presence. 20 for one. What does this do? So we have 20 points to spend for this dude. I think we gave him Blade of the Beast Slayer for 20 points. Then that would be dead on. Yeah, dead on 2.3k. That's quite a nice list because you get hit with these two, plus that guy and this guy. That's going to hit like a freight train. You then leave the Riftforger alongside with the Legionnaires that can go grab objectives. One of them's a magic one. One of them can do Fireball. The other one gets 9-inch auras. So you put a 9-inch aura one in the middle. You then put the Ages of Aho and the Dragonkind at dead on the 6-inch mark. So you start creating a bubble. You then put these guys at the front to protect your Sacred Horn ones. You put those 6 inches in. And then what you then do is you use the Visions from the Rift redeployment. So, yeah. So, all spells, both friendly enemies, the suffer -1 to hit. Note that roll was natural armor 6 is always still hit. Okay. So, these guys I have to keep well away from my spell casting people. Is it within 6 inches? Oh, no, it's just targeting units. So, I can use these guys as a wall. So, I use these guys and this unit as a wall to protect these guys. They got Inspiring. So they're not moving much anyway. I'm getting bonuses to deploy in. I'm quite happy with that list. Very happy with that list. We'll do a new list. So next army we are going to do. We are going to look at. We'll do one more army for this stream. I'm thinking we go down in a line. Halflings. We could do a halfling list. But I'm actually thinking we do yeah, that list technically, if I can buy that army, do a game down my local, I will see how brutal that list is. On paper, that's quite mean. Because of the 2 units that get lifelinch, +2 to break your defense, plus on top of that they regen with all the nimble hits, plus they roll a brutal, plus with the spell that gives them +1 to hit. So 1 unit, if I do it on the main unit, so it hits you on 2s, breaks your defense at 3, I force you to roll a brutal roll with me, at the same time I double all damage I do to you, and I regenerate it. So say I deal 8 damage, well, say I deal 10 damage, I gain 20 wounds off of that unit. So that, plus then, if the other units takes damage, I use the Stormcaller to do level 3 heal that targets the guy, targets them. So that will go off on whatever the stat line is for them. So it's probably looking at a 3. So I got to get 3 that then regenerates, for example, we'll say on average you're looking at 1.5, we'll round up to a 2. So the other unit gains 2 wounds, plus they have lifelinch 1. So they can generate a turn around about 10 wounds, whilst the other unit will double that generation to an average of 20. Average of 15, we'll say. So you've got 1 unit that's on average doing between 5 to 10, and another one that's doing between 15 to 20 wounds regeneration. And removing a unit per turn. So they're hitting, you're gone, you're wavered, I hit again, keep going, hit again, keep going, hit again, keep going. And then I redeploy, I force you to deploy more units to me so I can manipulate my army. I then do the Thunderseers and redeploy them into a position that's better for me. They then charge in with Crushing Strength 2, they get +2 modifier. So yeah. Yeah, with the way I've built the list, it's basically, I'm going to hit you, and if you're still going to be alive, you're not alive next turn. So the Hell Strikers get a 20-inch charge. You double their move. They're a 10-inch move, so they become a 20-inch charge. That's 20 inches charge from them. One of the characters, the Stormbringer, who has a 10-inch move as well. The Stormcaller has an 8-inch move, so he'll be a 16-inch charge. So you're being hit very fast, and if you aren't prepared for what they are and their stat lines, they're just going to run in, smack you, deal a load of damage, remove a unit, heal, next one, heal, next one, heal, next one, heal. They're just going to basically unless you take them out fast, then yeah, that's going to be quite horrible. Actually, now thinking of that, that's actually not. I feel really naughty. Right, so we got to think of a next army for our list. I'm thinking possibly Abyssal Dwarfs. Possibly. But I'm not a fan of them. And it'll be an army I probably won't play. Empire of Dust will be an army I play, but I already know rough lists on what to do with those guys. I'm thinking ogres, because I've got to rebase an entire ogre army anyway. Do they get shooting guys, though? That's the thing. No, they don't. Oh, they do. They get shooters, hordes. So we could do an ogre army. Could I have an ogre army I need to do? Or we go... Trying to think what we could go with. Could do halflings, do a pure salamander army. Ratkin Slayer, Twilight King, Varangur is the ones that I play for Northern Alliance because Varangur is the evil section of it. I'm actually tempted. I think what we might do is we might do a salamander list. The only issue is this kit I won't buy because of one fucking model and it's this piece of shit there. What army do you reckon we should do a list for? I try and think of all. So the only armies it can't be are Basilians, Reforge, and Northern Alliance or Vanguard, because they're the ones I've already got lists for. So yeah. Yeah, what you reckon? What do you reckon? Because there's so many different ways you can do this. Ratkin? Cool, we'll do a Ratkin army. Looks like we're doing a tournament legal Ratkin. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay, we'll go pure Ratkin, base one, because obviously slaves aren't that great. We don't get access to a lot of stuff. So, first of all, we need basic units. So, what we'll do is we will probably... I own this guy here, the Demon Spawn. So, but I won't put him in because he's not really that competitive. He's not competitive, really. I don't know why I'm saying competitive. Like, I'm going to be attempting pro for this, but... So, we want... Okay, so... What are our choices? Okay. So, they're Rally 1, Horde only. Okay, that's fine. Horde only. Shock Troops. Crushing Strength from Welchers. Okay, so we're probably going to be looking at the Shock Troopers. Because Shock Troopers seem to be a lot better for their core shots. So we'll probably run them as Shock Troopers. Because they are just the better standard one. And they're actually cheaper. They're actually more expensive as a Horde. But they're actually pretty damn good. Because they got Crushing Strength 1, plus the Rally 1, Hordes only. So, plus you could give them... Okay, so we'll start off with, you know what, let's start with a basic. 2 units of those. Right, now we need characters. So, obviously we have Broodmother, Warlock, Warchief, Swarm, Night Terror. Why the fuck is that? Damn, Night Terror's a character. I have one of those, Jesus. So, I'm thinking character-wise, we really should think about this. So that's the Broodmother. Warchief would be a good one. I'm thinking a Warchief would be probably the better one for this type of list. Because I want to do these as a very heavy hitting. Not pretty base round actually. We could run a Warchief depending on his stats. And he's quite cheap actually. So Crushing Strength, Inspiring, Individual, Mighty, Aura, Vicious Melee, Infantry for 15 units. Infantry only. That'd be kind of cool. Because we could run him. Okay, I will put that one on. I know last time I didn't do anything like that. So, okay. So, we're already at 540 points. And we've already got 81 models. Technically. This is big. So, we've got some decent sized units. Yeah, so these are the Shock Troopers. So, this is what a Shock Trooper is. Just, yeah. So we've got 40 of these. No, 80 of those. Yeah, 2 hordes. So that's crushing strength 1. So they get +1 to damage. So they're hitting on 4s, +1 to damage. So the 4s. You could probably give them the heavies to boost it even more if you really want to. Are we going all infantry, or are we putting like artillery pieces in, war engines, or are we just going crazy? Because if we're going crazy, I've got some ideas we can do. Right. So I'm thinking we put claw troops in as well, because they will be able to do some damage. So long rifles, Pearson 2. So they break 2 defense. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in 20 claw shots. So they've got Pearson 2. So I think Pearson breached defenses. My memory serves me right for Pearson. So Pearson, all hits range and withdrawal have a +1 modifier. And yeah. So basically, these guys here, they're hitting on 4s, but they get +2 to all damage rolls. So technically, if you're hitting stuff with, for example, 4 defense, you only need 2s. If you're hitting stuff with 3s, you need 5s, you need 3s. So that's Pearson 2 with reload. So they have that's a 36-inch range as well. So retake. Okay, so they can be halt. I can halt them. They would probably get a bonus to the halt action, but then on top of that, they can still shoot. So they're still, you can move, halt before, you can halt at half your range, your movement. So you halt at 3, shoot at 36, so it's a 39-inch shot, or you can just move a flat straight. You get a 42-inch range with Pearson 2, hitting on 4s, melee, not great, but you can increase their artifact. You can give them an artifact as well that make him even better. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, you're looking at essentially with claw shots, you have technically a 42-inch weapon that gets +2 to damage, +2 to all damage rolls with reload. So it can literally just halt halfway across the field and then just shoot you just for the funsies. So that's the claw shots. So we've got some decent infantry. They'll be able to ping. So right. So the way I'm thinking these guys get run is you use the basic troops to sort of like wheel people out. You hit them with claw shots, weaken them down. You get as much damage on. You put like 5 wounds in. Charge a horde, just shock troopers in. So that's 30 attacks hitting on 4s. They then get +1 to all modifiers for the damage roll. They give all friendly core units +1 to the rally rolls. So theoretically, you're giving everything around them +1. So they technically now have a nerve of 21, 23. The then War Chief will also give him the Vicious Aura. That then gives him an extra 6 inches of Vicious. He gets Crushing Strength. Okay. Oh, that's quite horrible. So he gives Vicious. What does Vicious do? Now let's see what Vicious does. I can't remember. Had the bloody thing. Special rules. Here we go. I'm gonna hang up. So Vicious. So what does Vicious do? Vicious. Whenever you shoot a roll die, it must reroll dice that scores in the. Okay, so here's the thing. So they're hitting. So this is actually quite horrible. We'll do a dice roll for this as well, so you guys can see what I've done to this unit. So they get 30 attacks. So they get 30 attacks hitting on 4s. So 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 hits so far. Am I on my phone? But here's the catch. Because they've got the vicious aura around them at 6 inches, they get to reroll all unmodified rolls of 1. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then get an additional 5 dice. You have to reroll those 5. That will generate you an extra 2. So it becomes 17. We'll take an average of a 4. So you then roll your 17 dice for damage. That's not right. There we go, let's try again. Okay, so we'll take an average of 4. So they get Crushing Strength 1, I believe it is. Yeah, they get Crushing Strength 1. So all 3s hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they get 10 damage. We'll do an average nerve of 15. Yeah. They're forcing the unit to rally. They're rallying units. That one block will rally a unit with the Vicious Roar. So the hordes will basically, on average, without increasing their stats at the minute, they'll rally a unit per turn when within 6 inches of the War Chief. But what you do with a War Chief is you give him the specific one that boosts it by 3 inches. So he gets a 9-inch aura with Vicious 1, I believe. I think Vicious is just a flat 1. Crush up 1. Yeah, Vicious, and it's infantry as well. So you throw it on. That's hilarious. So he gives all infantry Vicious. So he gives all infantry rerolling the 1. Reroll of 1s constantly at 9 inches. That's pretty fucking. Plus, technically, that would affect these guys because they are infantry. So you've got 42-inch range shots with reroll of 1s. Not great, because they only get 5 hits, but you're only using them to ping stuff off the board. So they basically just ping stuff off and rerolling the 1s across the board. Because of Vicious. That's quite funny. What I want to look at is the Birthling Dorsa. I want to see what they can do. Or the Night Terror. Night Terror, okay. Crushing Strength 2. No, that's not going to be good for. Birthling Dorsa here. Pearson 1, Vigil, Strider, Expandable only. Okay. If you've got another way, I can basically just buff them up. So that's a Warlock. So might put some magic in it. So we've already got a War Chief in there. What does a Brood Mother do? Oh, that'd be really good. She's a possibility, but she's 120 points. It's not great. That's not going to be great for what I need. Brute Enforcer. Rallying 1. Wait, does the War Chief have Rallying? No, it doesn't. So that's 85. What is the Brute Enforcer? So actually, in a nutshell, I could throw in a Brute Enforcer, so they get +2 nerve, so they become a 22-24 nerve. So you're not moving them anytime soon. You just run them up with the... You run them up with the War Chief with your Aura, Vicious Melee, that will affect them in combat, reroll on 1s, hitting on 4s, 30 attacks, hitting on 4s, reroll on 1s, plus you then throw in the additional rally. So they then become 22-24 nerve. You have to exceed, I think it's 25. You have to basically roll 25 on 2d6 with damage. And they have, what's their thing? They have a 4 defense. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. But they do get Phalanx, if this units in this unit that charge, usually cannot use Thunderous Charge special rule. In addition, let's go Flame Issue. Okay. It's not too bad. Yeah. So far, this alone, if this hits you, that's going to be pretty fucking... You basically run the claw shots to weaken ya. Use the War Chief with the Shock Troopers to basically just run in and just slap shit. I hate it when I do lists like this. So, we are probably going to want to do a Warlock at some point. I I could do some wacky stuff. So shock troopers. No, you'll never be using. So I could put this guy in because he's a Titan. He has 345 points. He's rallying 2, so he gives everyone +2 for rallying. So they then. So he gives everyone +2, he would be in range. So they'd be useless. They wouldn't actually need to take that. But I do have this guy here. Right, so we've got some base infantry done. Tunnel runners. So I can only duplicate this stuff 3 times. If I remember rightly. I think I can only duplicate this stuff 3 times. If I'm reading. If I remember rightly. Pretty sure it's. I can only duplicate stuff like twice. Oh no, I can up to 3 duplicates. So the other list, I'll have to remove a unit. Yeah, so on I have to edit the other one very, very quickly. Just update that. Then we're home. I need to come onto here, Reforge Orcs. So I need to remove a one of these units. So what I'll probably do is 185 points. What can we put in place of that? So I have to remove them because obviously, yeah, because of what they are. Do you run Riftstalkers? Riftwalkers. Yeah, we'll go Riftwalkers. Done. Just had to throw an extra in. So okay, we're home. Now back to racking. Cool. So I'm thinking we run some tunnel runners. That'd be quite funny. Chariot. They're 220 points for free. They do get Thunderous Charge as well, so that'd be quite good. So 3 units of those. So that's the max we can take of them. How big can Shock Troopers go? They'll go 40-man blocks. We'll throw another Shock Trooper squad in. So you got anything to go to 60? That'd be kind of good if they do. They do get lit. So wrenches. Do we have a way to make them? Do they have models for it? No, they don't. So that's the Shredder. So they can get Hawpaws. The Hawpaws, can we? They're pretty cheap. They do get vicious and nimble, so 23. So what I might do is remove the tunnel runners. We then throw another troop with claw shoots in. You can buff those up a little bit. Cool. So we're gonna want Warlock. Throw Warlock in. And then I'm thinking we just run some extra standard basic troops. Scariers, no. I'm thinking we run one of these, depending on which one does better. Rattle Cannon. I think this might be a funnier one. We add three shredders in. Because they can back up the claw shots as well. And then what we do is we come to here. What do we go Spear Warriors? Right. I think we might add a couple more characters in. Formation, Smoke and Mirrors. 2 shredders, 1 ender. I'm thinking we run 2 of those instead of the shredders. Because nightmares would be a lot better. 2055. Right, now we start doing all the upgrades. So we want War Chief. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with him. Right. We're not going to give him any special rules. Because he's just basics. All I want him for. So Lightning Bolt 5. Did he get heal 4? No point doing the heal. Veil of Shadows. I'm definitely thinking we do the knowledge one. So we give him the knowledge plus 1 spellcast here. So we're now at 2150, 2105. So he now does the extra attacks as well. See, he's buffing up a lot. So Nightmares, what do they get? Crush of Strength, 1 Rally and 1 Horde only. Vicious, Blight Hands, 12 Steady Aim. They do hit pretty good in combat. Reality. I tell me now, sing. Okay, they're getting 18 shots. Hey, Shannon. So these guys are getting 18 shots on 4 plus. 18 shots, 12 inches, 4 plus. Basically. They hit like they also get 18 attacks in combat, and that's a 4 plus as well. So we could buff these guys up a little bit. So no finance in addition to carrying special fly. Oh, okay. That's quite hard. If anyone just have phalanx, basically they'd want to hit me in your combats. Because why the fuck not? Why would you not? Do I give him wild charge? Or do I give him crush and strength? I might. What does steady aim do? Because crush and strength I think only affects in combat. Yeah, melee attacks, okay. So we're gonna want steady aim. What does that do? This is something. Oh fucking hell! They don't get any negatives. They're busted. So we could give them wild charge 1 in combat, so that then gives it a +2 to damage rolls in combat. So that'll be quite good. Or do we give them life leech? Ooh, what if that's gonna go? Okay. Right, I know that I want to give the War Chief actually Sacred Horn. So he gets +3 on all of his auras, and that's a 15 point. We're just making some really horrible lists. The Ristalker one I just made is actually quite horrible if it gets in. If it gets the one specific unit in, it's just gonna rip people to shreds. Do we give the Warlock an artifact? I'm thinking, because I don't really want to give him that. There's just no point. There was shadows. What does Veil of Shadows do? So this is Oh, it might say down the bottom. South, if one or more attacks can or a stealthy special action. Okay, so if one or more hits them, that's kind of no point. I'm happy with how he's set up actually. But nightmares. So nightmares are the ones we're looking at this current minute. So they have a decent speed. Melee defense are pretty decent. Blade of the Beast Slayer is a 20-point upgrade that we don't do just yet. Do we give him a vicious special just naturally? Or do they have it already? They already have the special. Oh, can they take the Scrying Gem? So if they can, I'll put that unit down first and force my opponent to have to do random shit. Okay, so they got Scrying Gem. We'll take this unit in Nightmares. They will take the Daradin or Dragonkin. Okay, this unit is now a fucking... So it can shoot and basically not suffer penalties and do some decent damage. It can then hit you like a freight train, and now it can do magic and just bitch slap you. So it can do Fireball 8, hitting on 3s. Hall packs I'm not too fast about, they're just... I'm just using these guys as shooters, so I'm not really going to waste any points on them, possibly. Unless, depending on what I can get. What's their defense? Okay. Do they have vicious? No, they don't. Will vicious affect him? Oh yeah, vicious will affect him. So we can give him vicious. So now they re-roll everything. Boots is 7 leagues would be quite good for this unit. Can I even take it? It's a 30-point upgrade. Yes, Chant of Hate. That's what we're looking for. How many points is that? 20 to 30 points. Chant of Hate. So they get vicious. So they get rerolls across the board. Just in case mugs. So I'll probably run the War Chief up with the Shock Troopers. So what are we on? We're on 219, 2195. Okay. So next unit. So these are the shooty guys. So Jesse's boots, the Strident. So there's actually a thing behind these boots, and I have mad respect. Makes them faster. It's a 15-point upgrade, but it's not a book. Yeah, it's Strider. So what does Strider do? I want to give him Scout. Basically anything that gives him Scout. Would probably be my best bet. Scout and Pathfinder. The 2 stats we want to give him. So we want... Nope. We could give him Life Leech to keep him around, but I'm not interested in that. Cool. So we want Potion of the Caterpillar. That one unit. Then I also want them to have the other one. I'm going to give Hammer of Measured Force as well. Because that means they're always hitting on 4, doing damage on 4s. There's not really much else I can really do besides giving play pots. But I don't know what play pots do. I'll have a look because I have the book in front of me, it might be a unit specific thing they get. Goblins, Forces of Abyss, Empire of Dust, Whistle Dwarfs, Ratkin aren't in this fucking book. That kind of sucks. So I think they're in a new book. So I don't know what the play pot does. Will it tell me? No. Do we just throw some, make them a bit bulkier? They do gain phalanx as well with that. This unit, try to front. Yeah, cool. What I want to use is a combat unit, so I need to drop one of these. I want the scrying gem. That's going to be helpful. What is that? So we gain phalanx, so that's going to be hilarious. So did they get Thunderous Strike? That's fine. There you go. So if these guys get in, basically you never want to hit them. Plus they get +1 in their damage rolls. That's not a bad list actually. That list was a lot quicker to do actually. Another liar. Fixed order. I think we'll do one more list. We'll do one more because we can get away with it. We will. So we've done a 2 evil, I think. Where's halflings? We'll write a halfling list. I don't have the stats for them, so I know stats will be on here. So don't have the book yet that has them in. So I can't remember. I just gotta look at what abilities do now. I just need to know what Spell Ward does. Does Spell Ward mean they can't be affected by any spells, or do they get some bonuses? Strider. Is that something new they've put in? Spell Ward. What does Spell Ward do? I don't have it in my book. This is the issue. I don't know what Spell Ward does. So I'll just add this in quickly. Add spells, but oh, then next one to hit. No, the rolls unnaturally always hit. Okay, cool. So here's what's gonna be a bit fruity. I think we may be able to do something really horrible with this. And you can give him Relentless. What does Relentless do? I don't know what Relentless does, and I kind of need to know that. So I need to find a unit that has Relentless on it. Spell Ward. Oh, okay. Everything has apparently Relentless on it. Not Relentless. Yeah, everything can be given Relentless, looks like it. So maybe on a character, possibly, that has Relentless. You don't have it. You don't have it. Everything has Spell Ward, so you next one to hit me constantly. Regeneration. Yeah, that's fine. Just want to know what Relentless does. I'll have to have a look online. Yeah, so basically every time you try and target any of these guys, you neg 1 anyway to hit me. So do we go big bulk and go very point effective or not? And I think I'm point effective because 195 points for 60 dudes with Relentless and Spell Ward, you're not going to be doing much. What's the PMC for a block of 60? 45 and their classes. So you need 45 models on a base. It's not bad. That'd be quite funny though. 45 models on a base for a PMC. They're basic infantry, so the base footprint has to be 200 by 120. You know what? Why not? 195 points a model for 60 of them. And that's 30 attacks. But then they get 30 attacks there, the spear spikes, and these are shooters. We need to shoot ones. May change. 200 weapons. Okay, no. Okay, so these guys get Relentless at 195, at 40, 25 attacks. So actually, your spear pikes are the better ones to run. So we run 3 units. So we run 3 hordes. So 3 hordes done. So that alone there is 90 attacks from just those guys. We want a muster captain on a thing. We'll obviously throw Relentless on this dude. Actually, not yet, wait. So they get Ravenous Spell Ward, Nimble, Question Strength 2, Fly, Inspiring. Okay, it's not too bad. So he's in there now. We're already at 690 points, and we've got a lot. We've got a lot of attacks coming out already. So just so people know, this is the army we're actually facing. I'm throwing in a Harvester or two, depending on point wise. 140, Big Shield, Brutal. What does Big Shield do? Is that a new ability? I think it might be a new ability they put in. Big Shield, all attacks. Oh, hell yeah. We'll put a nose in because I can run everyone behind them. Because you would have to hit them. That's Big Shield. So basically you always have to hit them on 6s. So it's 1,000 points. Right, now we sort of need some fast ones. Right, so here's the thing. Do we go... So here's the thing now, people. Do we actually go cavalry for combat? We don't really need combat stuff, though, because I've already got 120 spear pikes. So I'm thinking short bows, but powder, steady aim, piercing. I think we'll probably do this and run 3 units like this. 3 regiments. Do they have any better rangers? Not on foot. I can get better stuff for. Their bows, halfling rifles. Here we go. So they're 200 points, but they're really good. That's piercing 1, so it's +1 to damage, plus steady aim. That might work a bit better. This army's just going to hit like a freight train. We're probably going to remove the harvesters because I want to play these. I want to play these quite aggressive. So then we got wild runners. I'm thinking. So we've got basic combat units. Done. We've got some shooting. Have a leader. So I'm thinking we then just run these guys. Run 3 units. Cool. So these are just prototype army lists. I will probably remove that because he's not worth the points really. Engineer, he's a tinkerer. I believe the halfling rifles have the tinkerer special rule. Tinkerer, yeah. So they get tinkerer rules. They get halfling, Azuro, Ravenous. Halfling, Ravenous. Okay. So they get the tinker special rule. Gazer, Gimos, Ready Life, Aurora, Wild Charge. Swap on halfling combo for a range attack that's range 3+, yep. 24, yep. Piercing 2, 15+. Okay, that's not bad. Gadgets and gizmos. So there we go, there's that. So we can put a couple more characters in. I'm thinking though we take out at least 4 blocks of that. Maybe throw in an Iron Beast because it's 210. Oh, that actually has shooting as well. So I could drop halfling rifles, drop one of those. So I could technically run like 3 Iron Beasts. Yeah, run 3 Iron Beasts, attack D6 +10. It's not too bad. I'm not really going to get it in the combat much. Attack 5. Piercing 1. See, depending on, I'm probably going to go pure foot infantry for halflings, to be perfectly honest. We'll probably throw in Braves as well for 60 block. Because they'll have Relentless anyway. Let's have a look at the range. I want to throw some big things in there, so Frost Troll Gunners, why are they perfect? They're 2 fairy point points. They get regeneration, 5+. Why not throw 2 units in 11? Relentless. Right, now we need to go through and give everything relentless. And then see how we look there. How are people doing? So everything's going to get their relentless special rule, because why not? Until I know what it actually probably does, and yeah. Actually, I don't think I'll give it to the rifles. Didn't update it. Trying to make like a tournament list for these guys. It's not easy. I probably don't need that much shooting though, to be fair, because they're getting 20 attacks apiece. They're getting 18 attacks, so that's actually not bad. I've saved some points there. So 1470. I'm thinking maybe use some of the some of these ones now. Hotswise or volley gun. I'll probably go volley gun to get more shots. Which one has the better attacks? That has 12. I could run a pure Tinkerer list. I think that might be the way to go. Run a Tinkerer list. So I think we will just give it another horde. Copy unit. We run a pure Tinkerer list, I think. So basically anything that has Tinkerer keyword we run. These guys are Tinkerers and they're Harvesters, so that's not great. Iron Beast, is that a Tinkerer? That is a Tinkerer. We're gonna now run a Tinkerer list. I can't remember what a Tinkerer special rule does. I think it does buff. Because it's a Radiant Alive. Okay, so Radiant Alive. In the move phase after this has completed its order, the unit will immediately remove 1 point of damage previously suffered. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're gonna run a Tinkerer list. I think might be the funniest. It's gonna be a very stupid list because it's just Tinkerers. So it's basically just heavy artillery the entire way through. So I don't know what Relentless does, so I'm not gonna add it on just yet. So basically now we're gonna have some fucking fun, putting some magical artifacts on this unit. Right, I want to give Life Leech. So now they have Life Leech with 20 attacks. Why the hell not? I resolved. So I do want to give the Engineer Iron Resolve, so he heals as well. So he needs the Aegis of Iahos armor. Okay, so he regains damage. He regains a wound, plus helps others regenerate. So he's a regenerator unit. This gun line's gonna be hilarious. It's just a gun line now. So you already get Pearson. They're actually not that bad, and I need to give them bonuses to hit. I think that's what Tinkerer might do. Speed stat, Pathfinder, so Path of the Cat Pit. Piercing Arrow. What does that do? No, it's just one dice. It's not very good. Chalice of Wrath. Gives them Fury. Yep, because that means they can reroll dice. But I probably won't ever play this list. I'll probably play the other one. We'll save this. But, alright people, so we're going to end it there for today. We'll do some more lists on the other armies next week. We'll probably make a start on preparing for the Reforged Orc list, where I start getting that stuff done come probably next month, about a month's time. But yeah, so yeah, we'll get some more tournament lists done, some like practice. Obviously I don't know how Halflings really play that well. I don't know what some of the stuff is because I need a new book. So that means I do need to buy the new starter set, so that will give me some Halflings. That will also give me some Reforge of what I actually need. So that is something I will be investing in next month, where we'll end up doing box opening and sort of like having a look at the rule set, going through the book, looking at some of the new things that have been added, but it will have the latest Clash of Kings in. Yeah, I think the most brutal one is probably going to be that Orc one, if I can run it. If I can make it, I will make it, test it out down a local club, and just say, hey, look, I want to play King Game Kings War, 2,500 points tournament list. I just say I need to practice this list. But that list is brutal. The fact that one of the units has regen 2, lifelink 2, it's just going to break the game. But that's the one thing I like about Kings of War. Like, everyone takes the same artifacts, and there's none of that. You need one book per fucking everything. That's just stupid. But yeah, so right, on that note, we're going to call the stream here, people. We will be back next weekend. Not next weekend, we'll be back on Wednesday night doing some more list building. We'll probably plan the big army for Reforge. So this will be like another 20k army of points, where we will just have a laugh, build this list, use the current list we have as a basis. So I will probably end up printing that off because that will be the list I probably will run quite a lot. But yeah, so we'll be back on Wednesday instead of Saturday next week. This will obviously still be live afterwards. But yeah, so I will see everyone on Wednesday night. Obviously links to my chat, my Twitch channel, also Skeletal Stevo's channel will be there as well as Tamilla's. Discord links and all that sort of stuff will also be down there. But yeah, so thanks for everyone joining, and yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday for some more horrible, bad things I'm doing. So yeah, have fun everyone, and have a good night.